Yeah, it says we're online.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so then yeah, you could go and hit start. And we're good.
Alright, let's do this.
Yo, welcome everybody to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing, and welcome to the final finale here in the silver class for one more time for round number 15 for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And we have an exciting race for all of you tonight as we have a championship decider between your championship leader, currently the McLaren driver of Zionicle, and he will be trying to beat his rival, the Red Bull driver of F1 Nerd, as he is 15 points behind. He has his work cut out for him as he crosses the line to go P2. He will need at least P2 or better. A win would definitely be more in his favor if he wants the championship to go his way. But Zionicle pretty much just needs a top 5 and he can claim the championship in the final race. We have 16 drivers here tonight. It is myself, C Freeze, and joined alongside me Mr. Camden Luca, and we'll be bringing you guys through tonight's proceedings. We are on the YouTube and the Twitch, and we should be live. Hopefully everything sounds a-okay, and we encourage you guys to watch on your preferred platform. Welcome, Camden, to a intermediate type of day here in qualifying.
This is going to be a big day, Freeze. I'm super excited to be here for the Silver Class finale in Brazil. I don't know, I might get a little emotional. This is a big day. Only one more Silver Class race, so we'll see how this goes. Like you said, big championship on the line for the drivers. But we have 16 people here tonight and a couple of little storylines that we'll get into in just a second. But we do have a couple of people returning to the Silver Class tonight.
Including Formula Jonah making a return here. First time in Season 16. Better late than never. You only have one more chance to get it in there. And Formula Jonah making his... I guess, debut for Season 16.
Yeah, did you just see what just happened here on track?
Something definitely just did happen, yep. I only caught a glimpse of it because the camera angle cut out. Anywho, I wanted to just mention that, and we kept saying final Silver Class race for those who were just tuning in, or if you're re-watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out the last episode of The Racing Debrief, TCR's podcast, where we went over some big breaking news and announcements regarding next season, Season 17, and the future for TCR. Just the quick notes, we will be, this will be the end of the Silver Class as we know it, although we'll still be racing 3 days next week. Next week, we won't be, it's Thanksgiving. We'll still be racing our 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same time, same place, next season. But we'll have 2 days on F1, which will be Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. We're introducing an iRacing series. So a lot of other announcements too mixed in there. Full explanation on the podcast, but this is the final week as we know it, as next season starts a brand new era of TCR.
We did just have a crash on track. It looks like Whizbang crashed out of the final corner, and you do notice on your screen that Chabar is out of qualifying. That is not because of a back of the grid. Coming out of the pits, his throttle hung and he hit the pit wall. So that's why Chabar will be starting at the back.
And I think he would like us to mention that he has clinched P3 in the Drivers' Championship, so a very nice season for him, grabbing a first-time victory as well. So a very strong season for Jabbar, as I believe that was Kluka goes P3 on the timing boards.
Yeah, and although we have a battle for the championship in drivers, we still have battles throughout the rest of the points. And as a matter of fact, Luca and D-Swish are tied for P4 in the standings, so it's going to be a shootout between those two tonight. And then I noticed Pilot and Hallberg separated by just 1 point for P7 in the standings, so battles everywhere, Seafreeze.
Yeah, it's cool to see a pretty packed grid here tonight. And yeah, lots of storylines, lots of different battles throughout, as we'll definitely be paying attention to Zionicle and F1 Nerd, but yeah, there's definitely more to have our eyes on. And here comes D-Swish, he's just about to start a lap.
So I do have a weather report for the race. I am hearing that there is a good chance for rain towards the end of the race. Oh boy.
Well, it's no secret, coming to Brazil, I mean, there's a good chance you're going to have some sort of rain. So this is one that you would, at least if you're in Zionicle or F1 Nerd's position, this is one that you would do a little bit of wet practice, you know, just to get a few laps under your belt.
Yeah, if anything, we did have rain last week in Las Vegas. That was where we were last week, and we did have a little bit of rain at one point during the race week, so I think it proves that you just got to get your wet practice in at every track.
Purple middle sector for D-Swish, so this could be one to put him up in the front few rows. Could be even for provisional pole. Let's see. D-Swish, oh, only a P9, so he must have struggled earlier on in the lap. Only good enough for 9. Comes speeding to the line, goes P2. He's shown some pretty quick speed. I think he's in the wrong car though tonight, to be honest with you. Or maybe
is not. He really?
I thought he was always in the Mercedes.
No, he's an Aston Martin driver.
Was he?
Yeah, you're probably thinking of some guy.
Yeah, but I always thought they were in the same. I thought they were teammates.
No, it's Noah's Bull is the other right, Mercedes driver, I believe.
Oh, my bad. I don't know who races each week. To be honest with you, I have no idea. Formula Jonah goes P6. Nice showing from him. He says he hasn't played the F1 game in quite a long time. So, pretty impressive stuff at the time being, as he has his hands full coming out of the Son of S's.
I've seen multiple people do that so far. That is definitely a tricky spot here in the rain. You're just about full throttle going through there, but you have to take it a little easier here in the wet conditions.
And I do think, as we have two drivers in the pit lanes, but they do have the soft tires attached, I do think you might be able to get possibly the dry tire in on the. I think the track looks like it's drying up a little bit. I mean, it still is raining. I wonder if it'll dry up anymore.
I have noticed it has been clearing up a little bit. I don't know if it's going to get to the point, though, Seafreeze, where we end up going full dry conditions, considering we only have 4 minutes left. But yeah, if you're somebody like Paboo or Oreo, who is at the back right now, might as well take a chance, see if the soft tires work. But based on what I'm seeing, it doesn't quite look like it's ready for that.
lot of people in the pit lane besides F1 Nerd. Is one who is out on track. He has an invalid lap time. Wonder if he'll come into the pit lane and possibly get some new tires and lower the fuel down for one final attempt. And that's exactly what he's doing. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, there's a reason he's going for the championship. He's been very consistent all season. You know, he might not have had the pace of Zyanical this season, just because Zyanical has had a few DNFs and is still leading the points, but I would not bet against F1 Nerd. The dude just does not DNF.
And it's interesting because Zyanical was saying that Brazil is one of his, I don't know about worst tracks, but one he's not the best at, I guess. I guess he wasn't as confident in it, and he knows he has to finish at least top 5, or not. If F1 Nerd doesn't get any, you know, if he doesn't get top 2, then Zyanical doesn't really need any points. But he's out here on provisional pole at the moment. But I think the wet weather's really helping him, because I think he's a good enough driver to put in some good wet lap times. But if it was a dry session, you might see him, you know, get overtaken a little bit. But we still have one final run. Everybody's coming out of the pit lanes. It's going to get busy.
Something I'm noticing right now, Seafreeze, Oreo African is basically coasting across the line to start his lap. I think he's going to do one slow lap, and then he's going to put in his flyer. So I'm curious to see where he ends up. Keep in mind, he is on soft tires.
Yeah, well, stop raining, the track's going to be dry, and he's going to get pulled.
Can you imagine?
I'm calling it right now. I mean, who's the best guy at predictions in TCR?
Camden Luca? No, if anything, I am the anti-predictor, yeah. Okay? Everybody I predict just crashes out.
Now, if I'm Oreo, I take this out lap a little slower. I don't like this. You know, you want to get across the line as late as possible, especially if you know it's drying up. You want to back this off. You want to cross the line with like 5-10 seconds to go, not 40 seconds. You need that extra 40 seconds, but now he's on the grass, which is also not good. But we have the concept down. We have the concept down, and this is what I like. Is look at the times coming down now. XD 15.6.
Yeah, here comes Oreo to start his lap. I was worried he was going to get eaten up by some of the drivers behind him on track, but he's in a pretty good spot right now to where he has a lot of breathing room. Any invalids in the Senna Estes, so that will be it for Oreo.
Well, easy 10. He's the only other guy. He's starting his lap on the soft, so we'll see if he has anything.
I don't think the grip is there, just based on what I'm seeing from the Alpine.
Drivers finishing their lap. Here comes Speed and 8/10 up on his time. He'll go provisional at the time being. Here comes F1 Nerd to the line for the championship. P1 at the moment. Some guy takes over. 2/10 up. Joby goes P13. We have a few Ferraris coming to the line. That's going to be D-Swish. Up to 5th. Formula Jonah in his return. No position improvement. Pilot goes 5th.
Here comes Ionical.
And he's P7 at the time being, but he is up on his time. Will the championship leader start his race? And I think that's going to be a pole position, unless Kluka has anything for him, and it does not look like that. And that'll do it. Zionicle gets pole position, and he's the only driver in the 114s.
Big pole position for Zionicle. After he said that this was one of his worst tracks, he's off to a pretty good start, and well, DRS is enabled. That probably would have been helpful maybe a couple minutes ago.
Well, I tell you what, it's a pretty good place to start. I don't know if you could start any better. Going for your championship, starting on pole position at a track that you were saying that you weren't as confident at. That's a pretty good place to start, but he does have some guy starting alongside him, and he'll have F1 Nerd, his championship rival, right in his mirrors to start this race. He'll be in P3. We do have to do predictions right now because we don't have a formation lap. So what do you got for us, Camden?
Oh boy, one final silver class prediction. I gotta make this one good. I am going to say that Zionicle will finish off the season as champion with a W here tonight in Brazil. So I'm going to pick him P1. I'm going to go and say it's going to be F1 Nerd. I think it's going to be those two finishing 1-2. And then I got to pick somebody wild for P3, right? One final prediction. I'm going to say Chibar. Last to third challenge complete.
Nice predictions there. I'm gonna go with I like some guy for the win. I like Zionicle P2, and we'll put D-Swish in third, and I think Zionicle takes the championship. Remember, F1 Nerd usually does get some time penalties, and this is a pretty easy track to get some. You're going around this place 36 times, so a lot more times. Very easy to cut in turn 2, and a couple other points throughout the middle sector. So. But we'll see how it is. Zionicle versus F1 Nerd. Finale night here in the silver class. One final time here in Brazil. Let's do it as Zionicle does not get off the line at all. He is down to P6. F1 Nerd gets ahead of him as speeding, and I think there's a whole bunch of penalties. Somehow.
There was a glitch. There was a major glitch, Seafreeze. 5 drivers with a drive-through. We have an incident at the back. Kluka and Joby has gone around. I'm not sure if this lobby is going to get reset or not. I mean, I've never seen that before, to where 5 people off the line getting a drive-through. It did look like a very awkward scenario.
I feel like one person did go a little early, and then I feel like a few did, but that would be pretty bad if everybody went.
Well, as of now, we have to treat this as if this is going to stand, and take a look at who got one. Zionicle is one of those victims who has a drive-through penalty.
You're right. Yeah, wow. I have no idea what happened, but I mean, at this time, I don't know if it was a glitch. I mean, I'd have to look back and see. Maybe check the replay, but this is going to promote F1 Nerd. By the time this all filters out, he'll be the leader of the race. Zionicle will be under pressure. This is exactly what F1 Nerd would want to see.
There's an incident. Hallberg is out. He just crashed, and that is a safety car. So that just completely saves Zionicle's race.
Yeah, but I don't think you could do the drive-through under safety car.
Oh, he didn't serve it yet.
No, I don't.
Oh, you got to be kidding. No. Oh, wow. Oh boy.
If he went that first lap, which I probably would do. I think a few did. Some guy did it. He went in the drive. He did the drive-through.
I'm gonna be honest, Seafreeze. I'm kind of baffled by this start. We just had XD Champ crash out right behind the pace car on the first straightaway in Sector 1. I have never seen a start like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is for me very relatable because I've had a championship on the finale where there were glitches and drive-throughs and stuff, and you just got to keep your head down and just keep going. It doesn't matter if it's fair or not. I still not sure what is all happening, but there's plenty of laps still left in this race, and two drivers just are out of it. So we're down to 14. A couple drivers pitting. That's Kluka in the back and Joby.
I saw that XD Champ crashed out there behind the pace car. I'm hearing reports that he actually did hit the pace car. So a little bit of Days of Thunder reenactment going on there.
Yeah. It's also a flashback or throwback to the Platinum class Sequit getting disqualified by hitting the safety car. Or he was parked in a dangerous look. He was parked on the pit lane, and the safety car came out, and the safety car hit his car, and he was disqualified for blocking the pit lane. It was incredible. Australia, season 10, I do believe. Platinum class. Go check it out.
Well, this scenario is going to be interesting because these three guys at the front with drive-through penalties, they're on the verge of disqualification if they do not serve their drive-through right away.
This is scary because, we saw someone get disqualified a few races. Well, it's been before I had before I could talk, or when I was able to talk. Remember, there was somebody who got disqualified because they didn't serve it in time. I don't remember what race, but
I think it was. Are you talking about this season?
Yeah.
I think it was Pabu. Pretty sure it was Pabu.
I think you're right. Yep. So I don't know if Zynical. This would get me nervous. He has to come as soon as the safety car is in. He's got to come into the pits. If he goes an extra lap, he goes the risk of getting disqualified.
Yeah. Well, especially if you take a look at the back, we just had Joby come in and pit, and he is well behind the pace car. So I don't know if this is going to be the last lap here under safety car.
From what I originally thought when the lights went out, it did look like somebody moved before the lights, but I would feel like it's really unlikely that 5 or 6 drivers went before the lights. Like, usually if somebody jumps the start, you'll get 1, maybe 2 other people, but not 5 or 6. So I'm not too sure. Although the 5 or 6 drivers all happened towards the front, nobody happened in the back. So maybe someone did go up at the front, and the others, it was just a big chain reaction, or maybe there was a glitch. I'm still unsure, but we're gonna get back going racing here. Sweden and Zynical both have those drive-throughs, and they're gonna go an extra lap, so hopefully everything is all right with them.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right as long as they serve it this lap. They have to serve it this lap. Looks like Kluka's going side by side with Whizbang here. Whizbang going to give him the spot.
Jonah spun right in front of him as well. And Jonah's down to 13th. But yes, Kluka got past Whizbang. Some guy is also trying the inside on Whizbang.
Oh, Whizbang misses the corner. Some guy takes a tight line there. Oh, Joby is stuck, and now he gets it back going. That could have been close. Oh, Speed and stays out. He's not disqualified, though.
Then it's definitely this lap. Then it's definitely at the end of this lap he has to go. Zyanical making that slow climb to the end of the pit lane. And he's got his penalty served. And now he is back in this race. He's got 30 laps to get back up to the top 5. F1 Nerd, it has a great start to this race. As once Speedin takes his penalty, he's going to have a 2-second lead on the whole grid. So he can really settle in and start focusing on what he needs to do.
Oh, F1 Nerd, a big snap there out of that left-hander. That was turn 9, but he is still right there in Speedin's grasp, and Speedin will be serving a drive-through. Oh, big moment here. Pabu and Kluka. Kluka just got sandwiched into the grass.
Speedin finally takes his penalty as F1 Nerd inherits the lead.
Wow.
Now watch this. After all the penalties and everything, Chabar up to 4th after starting 16th.
Yeah. What did I say, Seafreeze? A last to podium challenge? Oh, what body slam Pabu! What in the world?
Man, he gave him a boot to the head.
Yeah, I don't know if I support that, though, because Pabu might have a laundry list of evidence right there if he wants to submit him later on.
Camden said he body slammed him down.
From the top row. Luka, RKO, out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Chabar sees another position in hand. He's got Easy right in front of him.
This should be an easy move.
No pun intended. And Whizbang is out. His season 16 comes to an end, and we have a safety car.
Well, I said this before, but I can truly say it now. This saves Zionical's race.
Yep. Hey, well, Whizbang,
don't say it.
Saying it how it is. He didn't really help Zionical all season with points-wise. That's probably the reason they didn't win the Constructors. But that's probably the biggest help you can give your teammate after a rough season that he had. Because now Zionical is right back caught up.
Well, I know that this definitely eases the drama down a little bit, but I was going to say, if you look at the leaderboard, technically, F1 Nerd would be our champion as of now, but Zionical right back into this. Oh no, Chabar! Oh no, drive-through.
What's that, number 6 or 7 today?
Number 6. Oh boy.
It won't be the last one. Someone else will get it done too.
Yeah, probably somebody in the top 10.
Man, Brazil is really, man, I'm nervous. This is crazy.
I agree.
F1 Nerd and Zionical.
Keep in mind, too, Seafreeze, F1 Nerd started on the medium tires. Can the hard tires go 26 laps? Does he want to come in here and get his pit stop out of the way?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't sacrifice the track position, so I would definitely, you know, stay out at this point. I would, if I'm F1 Nerd, I let the safety car come in. Hopefully it goes green for up until whenever you were going to pit, so maybe lap 16 or so. 16, 18, whatever you were going to pit on, and then put the hard tire on then. Or if another safety car comes out, then pit on the next one. But you'd like to build a little bit more of a gap, because he wants to pit when everyone else is going to pit. If he's going to pit and lose all the track position, then that's not what he needs. He needs the track position, because he's got to finish at least second, but first would help him a lot more.
So I don't think we've really talked about the incident that brought out the safety car, but I do gotta say, Whizbang kind of crashed in a very odd position on the track. It was in turn 14, and if you know that corner, it's kind of a sharp left-hander. It's really hard to go and hit the wall on the right-hand side unless if you literally just go straight through the corner, and that's what it looked like from my point of view. Whizbang was really far off the racetrack.
Yeah, now I'm a good point. But to go back here, Zynical just pitting, he went on the soft tires, which I can understand why he's doing it, but I kind of also disagree in it, because that means he's going to have to make another pit stop at some point. But he's going to use the soft tires to try and get through some of the traffic. But that's been his weak point in the season. Remember, he's had a lot of incidents where he's either gotten damage or DNF'd throughout the season because of incidents going through the pack. And we have, he's got a lot of drivers in front of him, because we had a nice grid size here tonight. So that's the only thing he's got to be careful of. But he also has to keep in mind, everyone else in front of him also has to pit. So I guess it's fine if he can overtake some drivers, then he'll also pit with them. So that's kind of his strategy here. But his championship rival, F1 Nerd, will get things going again.
Oh, D-Swish is hounding his rear wing. He wants to go.
The championship decider finale here in Brazil takes off again. F1 Nerd gets a good start. He'll have the lead into one.
Oh, easy! Misses the corner and spins out! Yeah, it looked like he completely missed his braking zone, had to go on the grass, and luckily for him, though, he gets no damage. Yeah, keep in mind, too, Seafreeze, Chabar has to serve his drive-through penalty, and if I were him, I would do it sooner than later.
Zionical moving up to P9, grabbing Formula Jonah through the middle sector. He's got a big group of cars in front of him, and he's got to be careful here. He's got speed in right up ahead. He's going 2 by 2.
I don't like this scenario for Zionical. Things are getting very chippy up here.
2 by 2.
Oh, man! Babu squeezing Oreo! Uh-oh. Oh, boy, this won't end well. Yep, contact there.
Something's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, if I were Zionical, I would just be extremely careful. Just realize that it's a long race. All you need to do is get up to the top 5.
And Pabu is 6 right there, so he knows he's got to get past this group and more. Although there's a spin there, that is Chabar. So makes matters worse. He'll go back to the end of the pack. There goes easy, too. Never mind.
He was like, I want to join in on this. Oh, no, he'll get that removed. Oh, and some guy has gone around as well. Some guy was like, I want to join in on this.
Kluka's in the grass. Man, what the hell? We got some oil on the track?
It must be a beach party, the way that everyone's beaching it into the grass here on this lap. Oh, boy.
Zyanical, Paboo, side by side.
Oh, gosh. 3
Oh!
No, my God.
He went right into him.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Oh, God.
Oh, he's getting past Paboo. Oh, Paboo got hit. He's got his elbows out.
Okay, that was extremely impressive considering the circumstances right there. I don't know how Zyanical is even alive right now.
I think he had a heart attack.
He needs some life alert.
Wow, and in that sequence, Pilot's out of the race somehow. I think he retired in the pit lane for some reason. Yeah, well, here's what I will say quickly about Shabar. His wheel issues are definitely the worst it's been this season, so I think that's contributing to this uncharacteristic race for him. And Sir Charles brings up a good point. The reason why he put on the softs was because of the possible rain threat that we have towards the end of this race, so we got to keep in mind that for strategy-wise. As Jonah gets up to 6th, here comes Kluka fighting back.
Kluka's known to be aggressive here. Whoa, that was a Houdini move by Formula Jonah right there.
Yeah, a little lag on my end.
Man, I know last season we had a pretty eventful season finale for the Silver class, but this tops it. And for Zyanical specifically, if he wins this championship, Seafreeze, I don't know if I've ever seen a crazier race for a champion. You know, going into the final race, fighting for a championship. I mean, this dude, we're only on lap 14, and this dude has seen everything so far.
Yeah. Well, I think he got through most of it. Jonah goes all the way off the track, you know, almost a Kimi Räikkönen style, into the final corner. He's gotten through most of it because he got past that group, and that was really what was, you know, making me nervous, which I'm sure his heart was beating. Oh, but he gets a little time penalty, so that's going to add a little hindrance in the race, 3 seconds. Could come back to bite him if towards the end of this race. Although we still have the possible rain to get through. So there's always a threat of anybody crashing or spinning. Safety cars, whole bunch of stuff can happen. We're not even halfway yet.
Formula Jonah getting overtaken by Joby here in Sector 1, but Joby misses his apex a little bit. Oh, but Jonah gets on the grass there on corner entry, and yeah, Jonah really struggling right now.
Zyanical making a move on D-Swish. That'll be for P2. This D-Swish got fully out of the gas there. It was... He completely let him by.
Yeah. Take a look, though. Zyonical's 3-second penalty could be a big deal towards the end of the race here. We got to see, though, is his soft tires going to last long enough to where he can get up to F1 Nerd before the pit cycle? 6 laps is starting to get towards the cliff, so I don't think we're going to see a head-to-head battle between these two.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll catch him, although the 6 laps is, I think it'd be a little bit longer than hitting the cliff on the soft tires, as some drivers are up there for 13, 15 laps, but still about 3.3.
Well, if you look, like Joby had a moment. If you look behind them, Kluka, 13 laps on these soft tires. I'm very curious as to when he decides to get off of these things, because I feel like 13 laps, even at a track like Brazil where you have a lot of laps, is kind of a stretch. So let's see. And, we have a yellow at the back, though. Joby was struggling, and now he has spun out way off the track. My God, where is he going?
Oh.
He's going to take out the sign right here. Oop. A little advertising gone wrong.
Well, there's the rain. Here it is.
Oh my God.
The Haas's they love cutting the grass.
Well, I mean, the Haas is known for being a lawnmower, so I guess that's a pretty appropriate car.
Yeah, but you can't cut the grass in the rain. Who does that?
Well, it's just starting to rain, though. You know, he's just getting it done before it does start to rain.
He's just finishing up. Well, we'll park it in the garage. We need new tires.
Well, take a look at this. Chavar has new tires, and they are green.
Yep. It could be just right time, or possibly one lap too early. But he did have to... does he still have the... He must have served the penalty. That drive-through that he got.
Yeah. Man, I will say, Seafreeze, Zionicle got off to a bad start, but he has been mastering everything since the start. Slicing and dicing his way through a tight grid in the midfield, and then nailing the strategy. This was a heads-up move by him to come in and pit for the soft tires, and he is going to be able to put the intermediates right on and not lose any track position.
Yeah, it was a good strategy call for the soft tires, and to be honest, there's not many other people that I feel like could beat him speed-wise to where he doesn't finish top 5. I mean, Speedin and D-Swish, Kluka, they're all behind, but Zionicle's ahead of him, ahead of all three of them, because he's got fresh soft tires. That's what enabled him to get past those three. Some guy a little farther back in the pack, but those are some guys that could beat out Zionicle, but they lost out on the track position, because Zionicle, with that strategy call, you know, really did help him get back up to top 5. But
I am curious here as to how Chabar is going to get by Pabu. Chabar came out right behind the Haas, and if you flash back a couple laps ago, Pabu was cutting the grass trying to get around him, so Chabar might have his hands full right here.
The only two drivers on the inters. Whoa. Little wheel spin there from Chabar.
He's using all this battery right here coming out of turn 12, just trying to put himself in a position here to get by Pabu. He's got DRS. I wonder, can he do it right here in turn 1?
Nope, but if he gets a nice exit, he'll have a nice slipstream up to turn 4. Looks a little too far back. Championship leader into the pits, puts on the intermediate tires. Zionicle.
Yep, so now we have to see where he comes out. He's already down to P7. Formula Jonah is entering turn 1. It's gonna be close.
Oh, I think he might have tapped the wall on the exit there. No damage, though. He does have a safety car threat. If a safety car comes out now, he does drop outside the top 5.
Yeah, I am surprised, though, that more people haven't come in yet. So This is another huge test for Zionicle here. Are the conditions wet enough yet to complement his tires?
Jabbar gets Paboo. Paboo fights back with a brilliant undercut, but a little opportunistic as he has some contact there with Jabbar. Jabbar will get back with the DRS.
Yeah, he'll get that penalty removed. That was pretty ridiculous.
So a bunch of penalties coming in here. Kluka gets speeding.
So at this point, though, how does F1 Nerd respond? Because he's in the lead right now. He's doing everything he has to do, but he doesn't want to risk taking away the lead by pitting at the wrong time. So F1 Nerd probably recognizes the amount of people that have pit already. I think he's going to come in this lap, Seafreeze. Oh, yeah, he's sliding through turn 12. I think this is it for his medium tires. In the pits, this is one of the trickier pit entries. Oh, no! Oh, my goodness, he just spun out into the pit lane.
Yeah, he'll lose some time from that.
Wow. Yeah, I was about to say, this pit lane here is really tricky on both sides.
He's lucky he didn't get a speeding there.
Yeah.
He should still inherit the lead. Here comes some guy in Zionicle, though. But F1 Nerd gets the tighter. Zionicle, oh, he's all over the back of him. Oh, wow, great move.
Okay, this is going to get spicy. Zionicle less than a second behind F1 Nerd now, and F1 Nerd definitely lost some time there. This could be the battle for the win.
Yeah.
Some guy with a penalty there. He cut the corner going into turn 8.
F1 Nerd taps the back of D-Swish, who is still out on the hard tires. He's going to pit this lap past him. It is definitely raining. Definitely time to come in. He does speed and still stays out.
Boy, it has not been a good lap for some guy. 8 seconds of penalty in the past lap. And I'm telling you, there's been a lot of people that have done that. D-Swish was very good on just being conservative coming into the pit lane, and luckily, F1 Nerd and Zionicle were both pretty conservative as well on their... Well, F1 Nerd wasn't, but Zionicle definitely was.
Just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in for the finale of the Silver Class here in Season 16. If you didn't hit the like button yet, I appreciate it if you would give us some support on the YouTube side of things. You can check the description for more information and join our Discord where we're the most active. We'll have a lot more announcements as we approach Season 17 in a few months' time. We have the Golden Class tomorrow for their finale and Platinum Class this Thursday. This will be the last week as we know it for Silver, Golden, and Platinum. You could check the podcast, the last episode, for further explanations on what will be happening with TCR for next season. But one thing is, we're not going anywhere. We're still racing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, same time, same place. So that is good news for our supporter.
The penalties have just been racking up. If you look at the leaderboard, looks like half the grid at least has some sort of penalty, and I can guarantee you that most of those are because of 5-second penalties coming into the pit lane. At the front, you have Kluka and Speeden, both with one, and as a matter of fact, they're fighting for a podium right now.
Now, if you look at the gap between F1 Nerd and Zionicle, it's increased in favor for F1 Nerd up to 4 seconds. And Zionicle was only really over just about a second when they came out of the pit lane. And I'll always say F1 Nerd is a brilliant wet weather driver, especially in the race. So he's putting on a good performance so far. We got a big field spread though. But closest battle is Kluka and Speeden. And then we also have D-Swish and some guy.
Yeah, Kluka known for being pretty aggressive. I'm curious as to how these two will race. Looks like Speeden has a bit more pace right now. As a matter of fact, Kluka a little bit lower on the battery, so we'll see how this plays out.
Now I'm looking, obviously, as we stand, championship back into Zionicle's favor. So we're approaching around 10 laps to go. Some of the possibilities, obviously it's raining, so you can never count out, a possible mistake, either a spin or...
Oh, crash!
Where?
Big crash.
Oh!
He switched with some guy.
Clothesline.
Yeah, that was a scenario to where D-Swish kind of squeezed him on corner exit, and luckily, no safety car.
Well, I was going to say that is one possible risk factor if you're Zionicle, and one that I guess you want if you're F1 Nerd, supporting F1 Nerd for the championship. You got plenty of laps for a possible safety car, but I was also going to say, you can never, because it's raining, you have a higher risk of a spin or a possible DNF from either of the top two, or really anybody. So as the laps are closing in, you still can never count it out. Speeden and Kluka going side by side. Speeden go around the outside. They'll be up on the curb as they exit up the hill, which is always tricky in the wet weather conditions. Speeden gets it.
What will Kluka do here on this straightaway, though? He needs a good launch out of the Senna S's. He's not going to get it. He's sliding, and I think that will be Speeden who will take off with P3.
Just a quick shout out, man. Formula Jonah having a great race, and he said he really hasn't raced much on this game in a long time. He does have a 5-second time penalty, and he's just about 5 seconds clear of Oreo, as he now just dips right under. But he's on for a pretty solid top 5.
Yeah, and big shout out to Oreo as well. Easy 10. After Easy had quite the start to this race, spinning out way down in the grass. He's up in P7. Oh my God, where is Joe B going? He is just going through the Brazilian safari here. That's how far out in the grass he spun. And he's going to park it? I don't... Or is he just wait? Yeah, he's just waiting for people to get by. Okay.
Charles says, one last silver class race, one last headache for the stewards.
Yup. Oh boy, this will be a fun week as a silver class steward. I can't wait.
Well, the good thing is, usually in the final race, a lot of people don't submit stuff because it's the final race of the season, so you might not actually get a lot of submissions.
If I were certain people in this race, I would be heading to the incident submissions pronto. Paboo in the pits.
I will just say that, I mean, this season for the silver class has been, pretty interesting and really fun to commentate on, as many as I've been able to do. But it's been cool to see Zynical, a new driver, into the league, really show himself strong in the silver class, and hopefully, I think his plan is to be up in the Elite Series next season, which will be our top class on Wednesdays now. And he'll be racing, among, our top drivers. He's a pretty good addition to the grid. It's been cool
and
seeing him battle F1 Nerd, because F1 Nerd was the highest driver that returned from the silver class from last season to this season. So he was our top driver, as far as, everyone else getting promoted. He was the top one who returned.
Yeah, I will say I did pick F1 Nerd for the championship, and regardless of the outcome from today, most improved driver. I think you could definitely put him up for nomination for that. His season 16 is just night and day compared to the past. He got his first win this season, competed for his first championship, and on top of that, he actually had some pretty respectable Golden Class entries. Yeah. So I would love to see him alongside Zynical in the Elite class next year. Oh dear, I'll get him an invite.
Disconnect from Formula Jonah.
Yep.
Yeah, we've had a lot of new drivers join throughout the season, and there goes Joby cutting the course again.
Okay, now it's too late to cut the grass. That grass is definitely looking a little shiny at the moment. And there he is.
Welcome back.
Now, I will say, though, that top 5 finish is looking like it's in jeopardy, as Oreo has gained a couple of seconds on Formula Jonah. So, Oreo looking to finish P5, and Oreo said something before the race of he wants to finish his silver class career the way it started. I want to try and see where Oreo finished in his first silver class race.
Easy, went for a little spin. That'll promote Chabar.
Yeah, I will say Chabar is still going to be in for a decent finish considering his circumstances. Still going to get points, and we mentioned it earlier, but Chabar, you could also put him in nomination for Most Improved Driver. Finishing P3 in the standings, picking up his first win, definitely on the board for Most Improved Driver.
Absolutely. He had a great season. And one that he needed, and one that, with some of the promotions and him being in the class for many, many seasons now, this was one that, hey, this is your time. Like, everything you've learned, this is the season to now go out there and execute. And I think he's done that for the most part of the season, grabbing his win, a couple podiums, top fives. You know, that's what you want to see. So yeah, definitely improved. Coming back to Zionicle, just want to give him a couple statistics to showcase his season. He's had 7 wins up to this point, including 1 sprint win, which was at Austria. He's had 10 podiums, including that sprint podium. Only 2 DNFs, but those were back-to-back. That was at Spain and Italy. And then actually 3 DNFs, 1 at Singapore as well. And he is currently sitting on 233 points, 1 fastest lap for his record. He has 7 pole positions, 1 of them including a sprint, which was at Austria. And going to F1 Nerd, he's had 5 race wins after not winning at all before this season. 1 of them including an Australia sprint win. Nine podiums for F1 Nerd. I lost my page went away. There it is. He's currently sitting on 218 points and with 2 fastest laps. He's only had 2 pole positions, 1 at Australia and Vegas last week out. Zionicle getting overtaken here in the last few laps, down to P3. Speedin takes over.
Yeah, he should be good, though, to keep P3, as Kluka is about 5 seconds down the road from him, and he's got 2 more seconds in penalties. So Zionicle looks like he will pick up his 11th podium of the season.
And this would be F1 Nerd's 6th win, or 1 including the sprint, so 5 solid wins. If he can last a few more laps. It does look like the track is kind of drying up a little bit. Not enough to come in, but it's drying up a little bit. See a little bit of a line.
I'm doing the math right now, Seafreeze.
Yep.
It looks like Zionicle is going to win this championship by a whopping 5 points.
Yeah. And it's crazy. You always think back throughout the season, man, where could I get 5 more points if you're F1 Nerd? And it's true. Every point counts. That's every fastest lap counts. You know, if you had 2 more fastest laps and a better finish, you know, here, boom, there you go. You know, it's easy to say in retrospect, say, man, where can I get all these points? But it's true. Every point matters in the championship, and it's really crucial going into the championship race. You always want to be, you know, the driver going ahead. You know, and that's what Zionicle was today. You know, he had that 15-point gap cushion, and he had to put the ball into F1 Nerd's court, and you know, he has to get at least P2, and F1 Nerd's done everything he can. This reminds me back a few seasons ago when GTR Lion lost the championship to Godini Weeb. GT needed to win the race and get the fastest lap in order to even have a shot at it, and that's exactly what he did. Godini Weeb had a off race, but he did just enough to secure the championship by 1 point. 1 point that it came down to, and it went to Godini Weeb. And F1 Nerd, I told him last week in the post-race interviews, I said, go out there and just win the race. Do everything you need to do and be happy with the win and your performance in a great season. You really can't dictate what happens to Zionical's race. And he had a bad start to this race. He had that drive-through penalty. He was back into the back of the pack, under the safety car. He had to go through that crazy traffic, which almost took him out of the race. He had a heart attack in the process. So everything was up against Zionical early on in this race. But yeah, sometimes you can't wait to the last race to make something happen. You have all season to make something happen. And yeah, it just comes down to 5 points between them. Both drivers having great seasons. And both would have been deserving champions. But I think, when we look back towards the beginning of the season, Zionical had a great start. Couple hiccups along the way. But I think he is probably the deserving champion of this season. But both really great seasons. F1 Nerd will win the finale race here in the Brazilian Grand Prix for the finale and the last silver class race of its kind. He will be runner-up in season 16. And it is this guy winning in his first race back in round number 1. It is Zionical to take the season 16 silver class championship. He wins it at Brazil.
Well deserved. Well deserved champion. Like you said, it could have been either Zionical or F1 Nerd, but most wins on the season by Zionical. Just a superb effort, and congrats on the season 16 silver class championship.
And we've got to remember, F1 Nerd does get a little bit of a win here because, firstly, he does win the race, but he's also constructor champions with Chabar. So it is a split championship, a split decision. So I guess not all bad at the end of the day.
Ooh, look at this battle here at the finish, and it's easy getting by D-Swish. But D-Swish gets him on penalties.
And it's champagne.
That was pretty good, Seafreeze.
Thank you, and that's with the bad that's with the bad voice too.
I think you should quit your day job and go on to America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just do, that karaoke.
She bang. She woo. She woo.
I was going to be a no for me, dog. Very good, very good. And now it's sunny again. Look at that.
Just like that.
Yeah. Oh boy, well, I don't even know where to begin with these interviews coming up. I don't know about you, but I have so many questions.
Good, because I don't got any.
How? There was so much that happened today. How do you not have any questions?
Because I don't remember anything.
Okay.
One last time. Down, 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 down. Where is the There it is.
So it's F1 Nerds, Speedin, and Zionicle?
Yep.
Okay. We'll wait for them to get in. Now, we did
reverse.
do.
I think we go opposite order here tonight. I think we.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to. We did do a constructors interview for the constructors championship back at Coda. Do we need to do one today, or do you think we're all set?
No, I think we're all set. I think as long as we have an interview,
cool.
Then it should be good.
Cool.
So we're getting the post-race interviews started. If anybody has any questions on the YouTube side of things, drop your comment. I will be sure to ask it. Remember, tomorrow is the Golden class, Thursday for the Platinum class. Same time, same place. We'll start with F1 Nerd Race winner. You did everything you needed to do here tonight. You went out there and won the race. You put the ball actually in Zionicle's court to make sure that he got the top 5 that he needed. Firstly, congratulations on the win. Might be a little bittersweet because you didn't ultimately leave Brazil with the championship. Came between 5 points. Although you had a good performance here tonight, should be proud of it. And also, you're going home as clinched a few races ago as constructor champion. So, talk us through it, F1 Nerd.
Hello, it's Camden Seafreeze. Yeah, it was a great final race to end off this silver class. And yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I knew if it was either a win or nothing, but I did my best and got the win. But Zanico was still too fast, I guess, and he got that top 3 win. Congratulations to him on the championship. It was a great battle. Enjoyed it a lot, and I mean, one thing I'll definitely take away from all this is just how much like Zanico pushed me to just keep pushing myself and just practicing every day. So definitely won't forget that. But yeah, great season.
Yeah, what's going through your head there at the start when you saw a bunch of drivers around you getting the drive-thrus and then you starting to lead the race? Did you think at some point you had a shot at getting the championship, that Zanico would have more issues? What were you thinking?
Well, once I was just waiting for the lights to go out, and then I saw all of the Zionicle go, and I was about to go, but I was just like, I just kind of waited a bit more, because for a second I thought I was lagging or something, because everyone just went by. But I mean, I knew I had to get the lead early and just build a gap. If not, it would be more tough to get the win, because then I'd be in a DRS train and stuff. But I thought the drive-through would make a difference, but then I guess safety car came in, and it was a great recovery from him as well, because I don't think you can pit on their safety car for the drive-through. So, yeah, I don't think there was much I could do, but still happy that I gave it a shot and got the win.
Nice. Favorite moment from this season? What do you got?
Oh, favorite moment from this season. Shoot. Probably getting my first win in TCR, the on-track win, but the one in Spain. It was a tough one as well against D-Swish. He was behind me the whole race, so that was a favorite moment. And also probably seeing Chabar win the race that we clinch constructors. So that was very nice as well for him to get his first win there. So yeah, I think those two are up there in my favorite moments of Silver Class this season.
Did you exceed your expectations for this season?
I guess you could say, yeah. I definitely wasn't expecting to get as many like 4 wins this season at all. But yeah, I mean, we didn't start off well. Started off not that great after Qatar, starting off the season with 0 points, but just slowly each race, just kind of climbing up, ending up in a championship battle. My first time, it was exciting. So yeah, and we also got the constructors. I guess you can say it's been a great season. Like, I know I didn't get the constructors, I didn't get the drivers, but just knowing that I gave it my all is good. And then just the things that I learned through the way, and at least we go away with a constructor. So I'm pretty proud of this season.
Now, how's it? Now, I got a two-parter. Firstly, how's it feel to be the final silver class winner? And what are your plans for next season?
Well, it feels great. Brazil is one of my favorite tracks, so I really was expecting to hopefully be in the win for this, because I know other drivers were fast as well. But it's nice. I started off as a rookie 2 seasons ago, and I end silver class with a win, so pretty nice. And for next season, I saw the podcast, so I know there's 2 days, but I think I might just have to. I mean, I'm not sure yet, because I think, is it in 2 months it starts again?
I don't know when we'll start, but yeah, around two or so months.
Yeah, well, as of now, I mean, I'm busy on Wednesdays, so I don't think I'll be able to join the second class, but I'll be in the Tuesday class. But if not, then I'm definitely like hoping to just go up and see how it is with all the platinum and golden class drivers. But yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'll hand it to Camden if you have any questions.
Yeah, I think I thought of something. You definitely stole most of them from me, not gonna lie. But yeah, man, you had a great season. Obviously, nothing to be ashamed of, even though you didn't get the Drivers' Championship. But you did mention that you and Chabar did pick up the Constructors' Championship, which was your first and his second Constructors' Championship. So what was it like being teammates with him this season? Just talk about how well you guys kind of work together.
Well, I mean, it was nice to have a teammate from the get-go, from the start of the season, and Chabar definitely did. Like, I've learned a lot of things from Chabar throughout this season, definitely, and it was great communication every race. If like I was in a bad position, I'd try and help him out. If he was in a bad position, he'd try his best to help me out. But it was an amazing season with him. I feel like probably the best. I don't want to brag now, but like probably the best partnership on the grid, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But no, I loved it, and maybe if we race on the same class next season, maybe run it back if he's down. But it was great, and I was happy for him to get his win, because I just know from like talking to him every race and just seeing the progress he did, it's like it was coming. I knew it was coming soon.
That's awesome. Well, I will say you were my championship pick at the beginning of the season, and you definitely didn't. No, he didn't know. He did a phenomenal job. You were right there with Zionicle all season long, and I said this on the broadcast, but I would definitely nominate you for most improved driver, because we do those awards at the end of the season. So I would definitely put you in that category. So yeah, man, great job on the season, and good luck in season 17.
Thank you, Camden. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the trust you put in me to win. But yeah, thank you guys, and congrats to Speedin and Zionicle. Great race, guys.
All right, we'll move on to P2. What car is he in again? I forget. Aston Martin.
Yes.
All right, good. Well, we'll get this interview out of the way. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. To be honest, I don't even know what happened. Were you Speed, and were you one of the ones who got the drive-through at the beginning of the race?
Yeah, I was. I just kind of reacted to Zionical jumping.
So he was the first to go. Talk us through the race. It looked like a little up and down, but towards the end you closed in on Zionical and were able to get to the P2 at the end.
Yeah, I tried to stay out after my drive-through, and I was a little unlucky with that because the safety car came out. But after that, I just kind of... I was able to get in front of Zion after I did my drive-through. So I just kind of slowly went through the field until the rain came. And then once the rain came, I don't know. I think I just had it rain.
The race, did you have at any point, or did you feel pretty good? Because you seemed like you had some good pace in there in the wet.
When I was by myself at one point at the end of the race, you know where Charles Leclerc spawned on his formation lap here?
Yes.
I clipped the grass going into that corner, and I drifted like the whole thing. But like other than that, I was fine.
All right. And I know you didn't start the season from the beginning. Remind me, when was your first race?
This is my 6th race. I don't know which one I started in.
All right. And what were your initial thoughts after doing a few races with us?
It was great. I liked the aggressiveness. I liked being like mid-pack. And yeah.
Nice. And I don't know if you got a chance to hear any of the changes for next season as far as series and classes go, but you planning on racing in season 17, and if so, what are you planning to do?
I think I'm still going to be in the lower series because I haven't really practiced with no assists yet.
Right.
So I might go up. It just depends if I get used to no traction control. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to be here.
Sweet. That's what I love to hear, and it's been nice getting some new drivers in, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, and good that you're wanting to come back. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
A good result here today, and Camden, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, Speed. And so you said that you were kind of a mid-pack driver this season, but this is your second podium, and you had a couple of fourths as well. So personally, I think if you competed all season, you probably would have, been up there either competing for the championship or maybe for P3 in the standings. But I did notice at the end of the race, your pace really came on strong. You were able to get Zionical there at the end. What was the difference there at the end? Do you think it was the conditions, or do you think you were just kind of getting used to the track?
I think it was a little bit of both. I normally do a little better in the rain, and honestly, I didn't have any practice, so I guess the beginning of the race was my practice. Yeah, just a mix of both, I guess.
Right on. I'm trying to think of something else. Seafreeze is hogging all the questions from me today. Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Just kidding. Yeah, man. You had a great season for the amount of races you showed up in, and hopefully we'll see you on the grid next season. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now that we got everybody out of the way. No, I'm kidding.
Right? Yep. And the broadcast right now.
It's time for the Season 16 Silver Class Champion, the Man of the Hour, the newly crowned Zionical. Congratulations, and you did exactly what you needed to do, a top 5, but you did a little bit better. You got yourself a podium, a P3. Start of the race went to shit for you, but you kept your head down, you got through the traffic, and you did what you needed to do, which I think was a true champion's drive. So congratulations. Talk us through it, please.
Yeah, thanks guys, really appreciate it. It was a good good season. I hate that I ended it with that race, because the start, I don't think it was fully on me, because my game kind of tabbed out, and so when I came back in, I just instantly entered and it released the clutch and I went. but like I also probably just shouldn't have like had another tab open like in the pre-race. I don't know, maybe it was goofy, but I just felt bad that it screwed over everybody. I got drive-through and I pretty much was like, oh my god, is the season over? I was like, I just need a lucky safety car or I'm like totally screwed, and I got one, which was good. And then I pitted to her, whatever, yeah, the pace was okay. I don't think I was ever winning, even if I had a clean race, but I could tell pretty early that like if I got a safety car, I could probably get top 5, which was all I needed.
And you had that, were you the one who started the drive-through parade at the beginning? Yeah, that was all in me. It wasn't like totally conscious, like I said, but like I do feel very bad for like anybody that it screwed over. I honestly, for the first couple laps, I got like 3 track limit violations, or 2 track limit violations, like that lap, the first lap, because I was totally out of it. I like thought I had like lost the season, and I felt like awful for like the 4 other people who went on me too. Like that was the worst part, is that I just saw like 4 drive-through penalties, and I looked through all of them, and of course the one that was not there was F1 nerd, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I just did the worst possible thing I could do. But I got lucky, you know. I guess I would be happy if 4 other drivers got drive-throughs. That means they're all coming with you.
Well, yeah. Well, at that point though, when it's such like a silly mistake, I wasn't even thinking like that, because I just that wasn't like how I wanted to do it, and like it was just a stupid mistake. But like in the end I did think about it. I was like, okay, that is some people around me, but like I wasn't happy about it. I would have much rather start the race clean. I'll put it like that.
And you also had a lot of traffic at one point, getting past a few drivers. You had to get your elbows out. What were you feeling then? Because you were coming behind at that point. You put on the soft tires, which was also a great call. But you had to get through the traffic, and you did. But man, there was some close calls.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. I mean, it's always fun when you're going like fresh soft versus like used mediums and hards. Like you're gonna get some opportunities. But that was probably my favorite like stretch of like a lap or 2 of racing. I had like there was one overtake I had in sector 2 that I thought was probably like my best overtake of the season, ignoring like the tire gap. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to come through on the softs once I realized I wasn't going to be a lap down all race. That was when I started to realize it was coming back to me, and if I just kept it clean while I was overtaking, I'd have a good shot.
Nice. And coming into the season, you did win the opening round, and it looked pretty good up until the mid-season point. You had some struggles, then you started to clear, bring it back. You had some nice battles with F1 Nerd. What were your expectations coming into the season, and overall, what did you think of it? It was first time in TCR, grabbed the championship. Impressions for your first season?
It was a really fun season. I came in and I had no idea what to expect. Like when I DM'd you about like applying to it, I didn't know if I was going to be middle of the pack, bottom of the pack. I didn't think I'd be towards the front of like silver. After the first race, I got 3rd, and I was just like, okay, well this.
It was 3rd. Oh, my bad.
Well, it was a podium streak though to start the race or start the season, and like the first part of the season was definitely way stronger for me, but yeah, it was once I got that podium, I started to think, well, okay, if I can just stay with the top of the pack, that'd be great. Like, I'd just love to be close to the top of the pack if there's like a group fighting for the championship. And then, first half of the season came up, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be, I just need to coast home. And then I made a couple of mistakes, and F1 Nerd was on me. And then the second half of the season was just back and forth the whole time. And it was a great battle. Like, congrats to them. They were so close, and I think if I just got a little less lucky today, they probably win it. Which says like just how close we were all season, I think.
Now, for you, favorite moment of the season, any or a few? What sticks out?
Honestly, I would say It's tough. Like, honestly, the first, like, getting podium at my first race, I just didn't expect it at all. So that's up there. And then I'd also say, I don't know, the Vegas race last week was huge. Like, I thought F1 Nerd had a little bit more pace than me on the first stint. I didn't think I was going to be able to win it. And we were just going back and forth whole second stint. And it was like for a huge swing in the points because it was just us two for the win. So I'd probably say that win or the podium in Qatar to open the season.
All right, now one final question, maybe two-parter. I'm sure you heard the news of the change of the series. You'll probably get moved up to what would be known as the Elite Series on Wednesdays, as I do think that is your appropriate class, and I think you would also want to race with them. But after going through this season, you know, what did you learn? Anything, either about yourself or throughout going for a championship? What did you learn? If you had to give someone else who might still be racing in whatever we call this Tuesday series, what would you give them as advice from what you've learned going up to Elite Series next year?
I don't know, just like, focus on, like, improvement, and like don't make it like every single thing like a competition with like another direct person. Like I thought I was like cool with a lot of the drivers in silver, and I think that made us like have like a lot more respect for each other when we were racing at the front. We were always going to keep it clean because we were cool, and we were really focused on like just getting better and like being as good as we could on like each track. And I think it resulted in like very few like, ugly confrontations, so to speak, throughout the season, which was good. And yeah, for the two divisions, yeah, I'm planning on probably doing the no assist one, which will be super cool to race with a lot of the golden plat guys that are fast. It'll be interesting though, because I may be getting my my wheel and pedals and stuff before that season, so I'm gonna have to like learn some stuff. So who knows how that goes? I might end up in silver again, or the lower division again, learning wheel. Who knows? We'll see.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say before I give it to Camden?
No, just I guess, yeah. Actually, I guess good racing to like all the guys who I was going back and forth with at any point in the season. So like Kluka, Shabar, E-Swish, F1 Nerd especially, Speedin', like, it was good racing overall. Really appreciate you guys for, like, bringing, like, great casts every week. Super appreciated. And, yeah, congrats to, like, F1 Nerd and Shabar on the Constructors' Championship. And congrats to, like, F1 Nerd on, like, a super tough fight that, like, had me scared, like, to the last lap,
Sweet. Definitely appreciate it. And Camden?
Yeah, so first of all, Zionical, I do want to reflect back about midway through the season. Was I right or was I right?
No, like I think in the end, like it took me a sec to like think about it and realize that it was probably a bit of an anomaly, and you were right in that regard. But like, like I always like enjoyed racing against a lot of the guys at the top. And so once I think in the second half, for whatever reason, it got, I think people generally were a bit cleaner. I think there were still mistakes, and like we still had safety cars and stuff, but it didn't feel like there was like Monza ever again, which was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. So like it got better, and I'm glad I stayed. And I'm glad I fought it out to the end with F1 Nerd. Yeah, it was a good time, and I'm excited for next season. Hopefully in the upper division.
Yeah, but besides that, I do have a very important question to ask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the celebration going to be like now that you are champion of the silver class?
I will probably go eat dinner and be happier than I would have if I hadn't won it when I was eating. Because, yeah, I would have been pretty bummed if I had just screwed myself on a drive-through to start the last race. So I'll probably be a lot happier than I would have eaten dinner otherwise.
That's probably the equivalent of what I did last season. So I can definitely relate to that strategy. And then one final question. Are you going to be around tomorrow for the Golden Class finale?
Actually have not thought about it because I just didn't like my pace on Brazil at all. And I still don't think it's great, but it's better than I thought it'd be, honestly. Although that might have just been the wet weather. I don't know. Either way, I might. Because I don't think I have anything that is, like, keeping me from doing it. So if I'm awake, I should be.
If you're not hungover, then he'll be there.
Yeah. The partying's going to go for another 12 hours, 16 hours at least. So we'll see after that.
You're damn right.
He's going to call into work tomorrow and be like, sorry, boss. I had a very important celebration last night.
I'm a champion now. Today. What do you know about that, boss? No, but I'm excited. I didn't expect to really even be competing for the championship, and I feel great now that I did.
Yeah, man.
And excited about next year.
Yeah, well, you definitely deserve it. You were the man most of the season, leading the points a good portion of the way. And, hopefully we'll see you back next season and enjoy this moment.
Appreciate it, for real, guys. And, like I said, really, really appreciate y'all doing the cast. You guys are goated. Fun listening to y'all every week, for real.
Definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. No, that's a lie. I won't be. Or maybe I will. Well, we will be here all week because we have Golden Class and Platinum Class this week to finish it all up. But, that's going to pretty much do it here tonight. Camden, any final last words?
Well, going into this season, I wasn't thinking that this was going to be the last Silver Class season. But here we are, right? After, 9 seasons of Silver Class? Because we kind of started around,
season 8 was our first one.
Okay, yeah, so, 8 seasons or whatever of Silver Class. And, there's been a lot of great moments throughout the years, but we're not done. If anything, we're just starting our new era next season. We'll still be here on Tuesdays, just in a little bit of a different setting. And like you said, we still have 2 more races this week, so make sure to tune in, hit that like button, and subscribe. I did notice we are 5 away from 600 on the YouTube side of things, so make sure you go and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to finish, the final one of the Silver Class has been an interesting class, and I've done a lot of the commentaries in the Silver Class, yeah, who knows? You never know if it'll ever return at some capacity. But for the time being, this is, last of what we know it as, the Silver Class. And there's been a lot of great moments, a really fun class all throughout. And I think for most of it, it'll be very much similar next season. It'll be kind of named something a little bit different, and the roster will be a little bit more competitive and a little bit different setting, as you said. But all in all, a great season. I just want to thank everybody for the support and the continuous support throughout this season, and we look forward to next season. So thank you all for watching. Check the description for more information. You can join our Discord server where we're the most active, and you keep up with everything TCR. We'll see you here tomorrow for the Gold Class, Thursday for the Platinum Class, one final time this season, and until next time, it's been Camden, it's been Seafreeze, it's been a pleasure. Have a good night, everybody. And you're going to have to end this, Camden, because my shit ain't working.
Okay. I got you.
And we might be live on Twitch 24/7.
Yep. Give me 2 seconds.
I still can't end it.
All right.